So, it's the night before your test and you ran out of time to study. I know, other important things came up, and the next thing you realize, it's test day tomorrow. If you're hoping to get an A on your test by watching these videos, well, if you didn't do any studying, you most likely will earn a grade proportionate to the effort you put into your studies. However, hang on. Don't click off the video just yet. These videos will be no longer than 10 minutes and will hit on the important parts of each concept of United States history. I can't promise you an A in the course, but you could get at least a C. Now, I'm not advocating mediocrity in education. I was a high school teacher for 22 years. I understand teenagers and schoolwork. Sometimes stuff just happens, as they say. Okay, so, you're still with me? Good choice. You are on your way to salvaging your grade. Now, we're going to look at the rise of industrial America, or as I like to say, when America told the world, hold my coat and watch this. Now, this first video will deal with social Darwinism, capitalism, market economy, and laissez-faire economics. Now, what is social Darwinism? That is an excellent question. Simply put, social Darwinism is a corruption of a scientific concept of the natural sciences used to explain human behavior. The original concept was developed by this guy, Charles Darwin, and published under such titles as The Origins of Species and Natural Selection. Now, in his study of the natural world, he believed that the strong survived while the weak died. Now, this is a very short explanation of Darwin's work. Whatever you do, do not use this as a basis for an answer in your biology test. Now that you know who Darwin is and basic Darwin's scientific theory, let's look at the theory of social Darwinism. Social Darwinism is a belief that in society, the strong should see their wealth and power increase while the weak should see their wealth and power decrease. Or, the intelligent and industrious shall succeed while the less intelligent and less industrious will fall by the wayside. This theory first originated around the 1860s in Europe and America. Now, before you start typing replies saying all sorts of interesting things, just remember, this theory was advocated by some of the brightest scholars, politicians, and business leaders of the time period. Now, how did this theory work during the industrialization of America? I'm so glad you asked that question. Now, in a capitalist system, you personally can accumulate as much money and property, aka capital, as you want. This is done through competitive markets, competitive prices for your product. You can do this because you own the property, that's the private property, and you have the right to do whatever you want on that property. I mean, as long as it's legal, without any governmental interference. This is called property rights recognition. Now, you have a factory where you are producing your product. You need workers to manufacture that product. These workers will voluntarily exchange their labor, making the product for money, coin, Benjamin's dough, scratch, lettuce, moolah, in normal terms, an hourly wage. You are all set. You have a product to make, a factory and raw materials, and workers to produce the products. You have invested your money in this venture. You will be rolling in dough in a capitalist system. Yeah, not so fast, Skippy. This is only the first part of that market economy in capitalism, which is when decision-making and investments are determined by the owners of the wealth, property, or the ability to maneuver capital or production ability in capital and financial markets. In short, this is what the rich do when they build their businesses. Now, the second half of this market economy, which will bring you the money, is the price of your goods and services, distribution of goods and or services, and the competition you face in selling your goods and services on the free market. It's not that complicated. Let's look at an example. Okay, so now you're on your way to making your first billion, right? Again, wrong. Imagine this. You are the only child of a couple who built a multi-billion-dollar technological manufacturing business. They died in a freak accident. They were floating in the pool, not a cloud in the sky, freak lightning bolt, zap, the water. They died instantly. Don't worry, it was quick and painless. But now you find yourself the recipient of all this money. Now you, being their only heir, you're 18 years old, you inherit the whole shebang. The business, the mansions, the private planes, the cash, the cars, everything. You're in charge now, and you will prove to the world that you are 10 times better business person than your parents were. You call in your advisors, the bankers, the lawyers, advertising. and you tell them your plan is, you're going to manufacture and install phone booths on every corner in the United States of America. Now, after the shock subsides among your advisors, one of them speaks up and says, you do realize it's 2023, and everybody uses cell phones. You respond, it's just a passing fad. People will want landlines again, and we will have cornered the market, and since you are a nice person, you want your employees to be happy, you also tell your advisors, and all the employees will start at $100,000 a year. Yeah. Your advisors put their heads in their hands and give an audible groan in unison. Now, since this is a capitalist economic system with a market economy, you have every right to use your property, that's the factory, any legal way you please. The government will not interfere. You have the right to pay your employees any amount you want. The government will not interfere. You have the right to purchase all the raw material you need to build your payphone empire. The government will not interfere. You have the right to lose everything, which you will. Jeez. Payphones on every street corner in the year 2023. Now, if this was the 1900s, this would have a completely different outcome. Now, what I just said about government not interfering, this brings us to Laissez Faire economics. This is a term which originated in France in the 18th century. That's around 1750. The complete saying is Laissez Faire est laissez passer, le mode vidu lu mimi, I guess. That is French for let do, let pass, the world goes on by itself. You have to love the French attitude towards the business of making money. Now, in a capitalist free market economy, what this means is the government stays out of business. No rules, no regulations, no subsidies, no nothing. Individuals are free to conduct their business free from government regulation or intervention as long as it's legal. Now, that's why you lost everything on the payphone idea. You have the right to be foolish with your money and your business. So during the industrialization of America, the second industrialization, about 1870 and 1914, the country harnessed its natural resources of coal, iron ore, steel, oil, and created a manufacturing powerhouse. Steam power ran factories, railroads, moved the raw materials, finished products all over the United States. And the United States government basically stayed on the sideline of the business world. Now, it was in this social business climate that vast fortunes were made during this time. Men such as Andrew Carnegie, John D. Rockefeller, J.P. Morgan, Cornelius Vanderbilt, they dominated the economy during this period, and to some extent their descendants still do today. But that's for the next video. Now remember to review your notes every day for about 10 minutes. You'll be amazed at how much knowledge you can retain and will retain. Well, I hope this helps you in your class. Now, if you like the video and want to see more short 5 to 10 minute videos in U.S. history, click the like button, ring the bell, and subscribe to my channel. Most importantly, leave a comment below. Thank you for watching.